Hello, beautiful light beings. I wanted to come and talk to you today about the 3Ds. So, what are the 3Ds, you were wondering? Well, the first one is detachment. Then we have disconnection. And the third one is dissociation. So, let's first start off with this idea about detachment and why it's important. So, detachment is about being objective about what's going on around you. It is understanding that sometimes we need to be detached because it's not actually our stuff and it's not happening to us. So when somebody you know is behaving in a manner that's not okay for you, is treating you poorly, and you may be at a loss as to why this is happening, it's important to recognize that maybe this isn't truly about you and it is about them. And this can be on a global scale as well. What is happening in the world, and how can you have detachment as a belief that it's somehow affecting you, but in actuality, it is not. You are somehow creating a belief that is what is happening is about you. And you may be taking it personally, letting it influence you, which will then affect your emotional state, your mental thoughts and attitudes about how you believe and think about yourself, which then can incorporate getting stuck in your own limiting beliefs. It can trigger you. So we are always being triggered by the things that are happening around us, whether they are happening in the news or they're happening with a person we're connecting with face to face. When you can sit and be completely detached, it allows you to, again, not take things personally, to hold space for your own being, to take some time and self-reflection about what does this mean for me personally? Is this truly about me? How is it affecting me? And then actually stepping away from it when it doesn't serve you or it's not about you, so that you can hold space for the true light and love that you want to be in your presence in the world, so that you're not triggered and then react in a way that's not supportive for the other person and also not helpful for yourself. Now, many people mix up these three. So many people may say to me, well, Vicky, you talk about disconnection and being disconnected from your body as not being a good thing. 100%. I don't want you to be disconnected. I want you to be connected. I want you to be truly engaged and in tune with what's going on in your body. So again, detachment is not allowing yourself to be affected by what's happening around you, to holding space. That does not mean you're not setting boundaries and speaking up when something isn't right, but is not allowing you to be affected by it. Whereas disconnection is when we're completely not attuned and in alignment with what is happening to us personally and being connected with our physical body. When I talk about disconnection, of course, we can talk about it in general sense, completely being disconnected or separate from many things, not just our body. We can be disconnected from people. We can be disconnected from the world. And all those things are not necessarily good. You are living a human life and on this planet, so you actually have to engage. So why do we become disconnected? There are many ways we become disconnected from our physical body, which is what I'm going to kind of talk more specifically about. But this can be in general about being disconnected to the world, being disconnected from certain people. So it can be criticism from others, negative self-talk. You may have some disgust or hatred towards your body. And that may also be as a result of how you perceive you're meant to be, and your body is meant to be in a world, in a society that says beauty is only there's only one kind of beauty. If you're not this, or you don't, that your body doesn't look a specific way, and how you dress isn't the way that other people seem you should be dressing, or what society or media tell you to be, then as a result, that can create hatred and disgust with your body. Illness, disease, injury to yourself, all those things can result in a disconnection from your body. Chronic pain is another big one. So along with illness and disease and injury, there may be severe chronic pain that doesn't allow you to stay connected to your body because it's too uncomfortable, too painful, too hard to do so. As we all do, we all have limiting and negative beliefs about ourselves. So example might be my body isn't safe. So as a result, if my body's not safe, I won't stay connected to my body. I will disconnect from it. In your family system, you may have experienced physical abuse or neglect. You could also have experienced sexual abuse. You may have experienced rejection from people. So then as a result, all those can lead to a disconnection from the body. Finally, there's a term called dissociation. So what does it mean to be dissociated? It means when you are physically almost outside of your body. You're not present in your body. It can be an experience of like numbing or zoning out. Some people experience a dissociation where they can physically see themselves outside of, like, they've been on the ceiling, experiencing or witnessing themselves having a traumatic experience, and the brain is protecting them, and so you dissociate and physically leave your body. Sadly, we are dissociating and numbing ourselves out in everyday life. There are so many things that result in us kind of checking out. That may be food, sex, drugs, alcohol, cigarettes, shopping, plastic surgery, gambling, thrill seeking, as well as porn, social media, the internet, video games, and even work, excessive work. So of these three, you can see that being detached is actually helpful and supportive, so that you don't get embroiled in situations and take on other people's stuff if they're projecting onto you. And so you may be asking, well, what's projection? Projection is when somebody is experiencing their own upset and their inability to deal with their own issues and stuff, and they're putting it onto you. So let me give you an example. Somebody may be projecting their anger onto you. Let's say something happened to them earlier in the day. Maybe they got yelled at by their boss, and they couldn't deal with that because they didn't have a voice and they weren't able to process it out. And then you happily come along and say something that is re-triggering them or is upsetting them in another way that they are totally responsible for. But then as a result, they project their anger onto you, even though it's not about you. So in that moment, when you can sit and have some self-reflection, now this isn't easy to do in the moment, but if you could potentially take some time afterwards, you may have responded in a way that you didn't want to respond. Maybe you got angry back. That's a normal response, because when somebody gets angry at you, you are in fight, flight, freeze. You're going to experience a survival response. And I tell people, somebody doesn't have to have a gun to you. Your brain is brilliant. It wants to protect you. And it doesn't know the difference between somebody yelling at you and having an argument with somebody and somebody actually physically threatening your life. So then as a result, you are also either going to respond maybe in anger back, which would be fight mode. You may be frozen, which would be a dissociation. And you might be wanting to flee and be like, I'm out of here, which is all without your ability to actually have a rational thought about that. It's just going to happen. But if you had time later in the evening, or even if you could hold space in that moment and recognize, this isn't about me. I haven't said anything or done anything to this person, yet they're yelling at me. Why are they yelling at me? Then you can go like, this has nothing to do with me. This is about them. So that's that place of really holding and being present with this idea about being detached from, and being detached from other people's stuff. You may be a sensitive person. You may be somebody who's extremely compassionate and empathetic. And as a result, you are also experiencing this idea about taking on other people's stuff, their pain, their suffering, their fears, their worries, their anger. All of a sudden it becomes yours when it's not yours to basically carry or to hold. You're not responsible for that. It's not yours to do so. So the importance of detachment is so that you can recognize again, what is somebody else's stuff and what is my stuff? And when it's not mine, you detach from it. It's not yours to take on. And then is to recognize in terms of when you're disconnected. So detachment is a good thing. when it comes to disconnection and dissociation, well, dissociation is a part of your survival mechanism. There's something you're not able to deal with or to manage. So as a result, you got to check out. You're checking out. You're zoning out. Life is too hard. I don't want to be here. I can't deal with this. You don't even have rational thought to that. It's happening subconsciously, and sometimes it happens in the blink of an eye, and you're completely dissociated. So those two things aren't helpful. Doesn't present as being helpful to be dissociated. However, your brain is like, we got to protect you. So this is what we're going to do when we can't deal. So with dissociation, what I would like you to do is to recognize when you're checking out. And how can you return to a reconnection to your body to deal with whatever you're going through, whether it's emotions that are too uncomfortable to deal with, whether processing something that's happened to you and not stuffing it down and pretending it doesn't exist. Disconnection, again, is also a defense mechanism. It's supporting you. If I don't actually have to feel, and again, when I call about disconnection, I really want to talk more into your body. When you become disconnected from your body, it's like you're living up here, just in your mind. But guess what? Your mind lies to you. Your emotions are also can lie to you. You can believe that you have an emotional state, that you have a right to be angry right now. This person yelled at me. But you're reacting in response to a situation and being triggered by something that is happening. And then you have to actually take the time and self-reflect and go like, is that an appropriate emotional response to what just happened? Could have responded in a different way. And that's where detachment comes into play. So with disconnection, I want you to start reconnecting to your body. That means to start to physically be present in your body and to feel your emotions, because your emotions will be physically stored in your body somewhere. And to experience your emotions, to feel them, all of the uncomfortable and sometimes the comfortable. So I had a client when we were doing part of therapy, and they were being very mindful, they were self-reflecting, and they could not sit in the love that they felt. It was too overwhelming to sit in love. But it was a protection for them again. It was too hard for them to really truly believe that they were deserving of that love. So it doesn't have to be uncomfortable in terms of like only negative things. I don't want to sit in this anxiety. I don't want to sit in this sadness. I don't want to sit and feel my depression. It can also be, I don't like feeling joy. It's hard to feel happiness. And there will likely be a limiting belief attached to that as to why that experience is too difficult for them. So we want you to get you connected to your body. And at the end of this video, I'm going to do a small meditation to help you to start to discern feelings and to be present and to witness and hold space for whatever uncomfortableness you're feeling so that you can start to reconnect with your body. But first, let's talk about what happens if you become dissociated. So dissociation is pretty scary for some people because they may physically be leaving their bodies. So you need to first kind of get yourself grounded. So how can you do that? If you feel safe to do so, if you feel like you're having, you are dissociating, which means that your brain believes that you're not safe. Something is happening. You are in what we call a survival mode, fight, flight, freeze mode. And so your brain, your rational thinking brain is not online. So what you want to do is get back into your rational brain. Excuse me. So the first thing you would do would be to get physically in your body. There's a number of ways you can do that. If you can get your back up a wall, that would be brilliant. And what I want you to do is to slide your back down the wall. So your knees are, you're kind of like, it's like you're sitting in a chair. But don't have your knees, your bum lower than your knees will be too much pressure. And when you're sitting there is like putting your hand on your stomach, starting to take in some really deep breaths into your belly, slowing down your breathing so you can help yourself feel safe. You're basically in sympathetic response, which is the fight, flight, freeze response. You want to get back to parasympathetic, which is getting into rest and digest. And how you do that is helping your body your physiological body to come down. So you would take some deep inhalation breaths, deep into your belly. Your belly should be rising. You put your hand on your belly. You don't want to just do chest breathing, which can happen as a result of high, if you're having a fight, flight, freeze response. That means you are probably breathing shallow breathing from your chest. So you want to, as much as possible, get a deeper breath. You want to do 2 to 1 breathing, which is breathing into a count of 4, holding at the top of the breath, and then exhaling through your mouth to a count of 8. Holding at the bottom of the breath, breathing into a count of 4. Back and forth like that, doing that 5 times. That will help your body to come back down. So that can support you. You can physically touch your body, tap your body, feel your body, tap your legs, rub. That's going to help you to feel, again, that you can feel physically present in your body. And another technique that we use is called 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, which is 5 things that you see, then 5 things that you hear, and 5 things that you can feel. So you would look around the room, because as you're doing so, when you're looking around the room, you're helping your brain to orient. You're checking in, you're being aware, and that's helping you to recognize my environment hopefully is safe. There's nothing happening, but it's helping your brain to start thinking. This is what it does. It helps your brain to get back into rational thought. So 5 things that I see. So I can see the fireplace. I can see a bunch of books. I can see some plants. I can see the coat hanger. 5 things that I hear. I can hear the fireplace. I can hear the sound of my voice. Otherwise, it's pretty quiet. Maybe I can hear a little bit of tapping of my hands. Then 5 things that I feel. I can feel my butt on the chair. I can feel my clothes. I can feel my back supported by the chair. I can feel my fingers are curled in my hand. Then 4 things, 4 different things that you see, hear, and feel. Then 3 things, 3 different things that you see, hear, and feel. And usually usually the other 2 are pretty hard, so there's very few things that you can maybe sense, feel on your body. Sight is the easiest, but it doesn't matter. You're moving your head around and you're trying to think, and as you're starting to think, that's the whole process, is you're getting back into your rational frontal lobe. You have to think about, what am I hearing? What am I seeing? What am I feeling? And before you know it, you're no longer in fight, flight, freeze. You are back in your rational brain. You can feel into your breath. You can feel into your body and support yourself. So let's do, for the last little bit here, let's just do a bit of a guided visualization meditation to help you to kind of like start connecting and being present with your body. So I just want you to take your time, get comfortable. Hopefully you are not distracted, don't have the TV on, leave your phone, go to a room, sit or lie down, whatever feels comfortable for you. And as you get comfortable, I want you to take some slow, deep breaths. Breathing in from your nostrils, deep into your belly. Breathing in again. Just feeling supported by the chair or the couch. Feeling your hands resting at your sides or on your lap. If your feet are on the floor, just feeling them feel flat on the floor. Feeling grounded to the earth. If you haven't already done so, I'm going to invite you to close your eyes. Here, you're just going to do slowly, just from the top of your head down to your toes. Just kind of check in. And just notice any sensations that may be showing up. So just going down from your head, your neck, your back, to your arms and fingers. Down your toes, all the way down to your toes. Your legs, your back, your bum. And then I want you to just notice if there's some place that's calling for your attention. Maybe there's more than one. Be present with whatever's showing up. Notice what sensation it is. Can you name the type of sensation is it? Is it stabbing? Is it throbbing? Is there tension? Is there heaviness? These are just some examples. Just breathe into that spot. Imagine as you exhale, you're exhaling out whatever sensation you are experiencing in that moment. Just keep breathing in and exhaling out. You may ask yourself, is there a color associated with this sensation, this area? You don't need to know what that means. Just keep breathing, just noticing curiosity about what's happening in your body. You may ask yourself, how big is it? How much space is this sensation taking up in my body? Is it the size of a dime? Is it the size of a dinner plate? Is it on the surface of my skin? Or is it deep inside? Is there a temperature associated with what you're experiencing? Hot, cold? Is there an emotion that's sitting in this place in your body with this sensation? If there is, can you name that emotion? Just with an open curiosity, no judgment here, just being present with whatever is so that you can truly connect with your experience. Just keep breathing and being present. Now there's a couple things that you can do to get even more information. You can ask your body, or you may have it already an internal knowing. Does this feel familiar? Is this a pattern? Let's say, as an example, you're feeling tension in your lower back. Does that happen often? Your body is speaking to you all the time. It is trying to give you information. It's trying to get your attention. This is the time to sit and to be present, to hear. You can ask your body, or that part of your body, what do you need from me? And sit and wait. You may get an answer. If you don't, that's okay. The more you do this, the more your body will speak back to you. And this is just connecting to your internal knowing, your higher self. You have all the answers to your life, and they're in your body. So just sitting there, being present, just seeing. Sometimes a want may be, I want you to have more fun. You're too serious. Trust whatever comes up in your head as your truth. Don't discount it. Then go even deeper. What do you need from me? This will go usually to the heart of the core. It may be right to a limiting belief of self. As an example, it may be, I need you to love yourself. So go with whatever that is. Keep breathing. And notice as you become more present with the sensation will either have left, slowed down, the emotion may have shifted. Your body may be, or your mind may be wanting to take you to another place in your body that's also asking to be seen, to be heard. Giving yourself enough time, whatever it is. And again, if you don't get anything as a response, that's okay. Just being present and sitting and connecting with your body and feeling into it and understanding its experience. is a beautiful start to reconnecting with your body and staying present in your body. Now, this may feel uncomfortable for some people and a little bit overwhelming. That's okay. Go slow. Don't push it. This is too much. You can just return. Before you do, I always say thank you. Thank you to that body part that was willing to show up and inform you about your experience. Thank it for showing up for whatever it's holding for you, because it is doing that. And what's the last thing we want? Our body is so beautiful and supporting us all the time, holding and witnessing all experiences as energy. And if we haven't processed it out, then we will hold it in our body. So your body is just letting you know that it's doing some work for you. You may have memories, you may have images. Things may start showing up as you sit and be present with a part of your body that's feeling some form of discomfort. And that's okay. You don't have to unpack it now. Just have an awareness. Oh, interesting. For some reason, I'm having a memory of when I was 5 and my dad yelled at me. And that's your beautiful brain. When you connect in this way, you are now accessing your limbic system, accessing in your subconscious, your memories, going deep. So you may put that on the shelf for now. If there's a memory that's showing up, just keep breathing and being present with your body. And again, just being gratitude, telling your body thank you, and that you will listen to the wants and needs if you got some information to start shifting and changing. So just allowing yourself to slowly return to the room, hearing the sound of my voice, calling you back, wiggling your toes and your fingers, moving your body, and opening your eyes. I hope that that was a good brief introduction into how you can reconnect to your body, and this understanding of how disconnection and dissociation are actually not helping you. They can actually harm you, not intentionally. They're trying to protect you, those tools, but they're not supporting you. They're not serving you to be your full self, to be present with yourself, all of your experiences, your emotions, and your feelings and sensations in your body. So my hope is that these 3Ds are just some things that you can learn about, to have some new understanding, and to support a way to start connecting with your body. I hope that was helpful. Thank you so much for being present. If you feel that this information could help somebody, I would love it if you could please like, share, and subscribe for future videos, and let me know if there's anything you'd love me to talk about. Thank you.